Hello, Cherries. Welcome to Live Cherry Sunday, special Monday, episode 200. And in today's video, I am going to show you the must-know 7 diatonic chords of a key. And as my friend Teddy Kumple might say, pukatonic. I think that's what he said. But it goes to the simplicity and one of the most basic things that you really need to know in music, and that's the 7 chords. And the 7 chords is basically made up, not basically made up, it is made up of the major scale. So for an key of E, E major scale. Now I call that a solfege would be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, but in a lot of countries, people will call the solfege only in the key of C. But just to specify here, it is a movable solfege. So I'm playing in the key of E major, so it really doesn't matter what key you're playing in. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do will be the roots of this movable solfege. Just like this, key of E. That's all you really need to know to start with is the major scale. You've heard it a million times. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. It's the beginning of it. Those are the root notes of the 7 chords that happen in every key. Just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And back to the root again, the E. It's also the Nashville system. So when people say they just talk about numbers and chords, like a 1, 4, 5 progression, you know, well, it's 1. Go up the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5. Well, that's your 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. How many songs have you heard like that? Or 1, 5, 4. So it's the basis of all music, really. It's the fundamentals. It's one of the first things that I learned when I was 17, when I took my first real guitar lessons. I mean, my first guitar lessons, I was 15. No, actually, no, I was 12. I learned a couple of Van Halen songs. 1982, I mean, who wouldn't, you know? So check this out. I'll play a little bit for you. I'm going to go in the key of E. I'm going to drone out the E here. Is that right? So when you do hit a bad note or bad chord in there, you really, really know it stands out. Because in all these chords, it's all the same notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to 8, which is the root again. Do the same thing in A. Really, really fun. The same thing in D. do this. Hello, Rajesh. Good to see you on a Monday. Give you a round of applause. If you're enjoying this video so far, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell for notifications. Thanks for spending some time here. Episode 200. Can you believe that? Wow, 200. That's kind of a milestone right there, right? So cheers to that. I don't know what you're drinking today. Let me know. I know it's beer o'clock somewhere. And this is really, really cool. And it comes into it's just so helpful knowing this. I mean, I really stress learning this. It's one of the most important things, if not the most important things about music, is knowing this, because there's so many levels to it. And this is really the first level of it. Just knowing the E major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. And knowing that this is the 1 chord, key of E, E major. And I'll show you here on a little chart. Thank you very much. 200th birthday party. Absolutely is. It's an old party. Let me check this out right here. I'm going to show you something here. A little graph. And if you want these graphs, I have a graph for all these chords. I'll put it in one PDF, which I already have, and I'll email it to you. Just email me at info@Cherry, and I'll shoot it right over to you. And check what I'm going to do right here too. Maybe I can make this a little bigger right now on the fly. The magic of my live stream on the fly using eCam. eCam is a streaming application, I suppose you would call it. And you can mess around and do crazy stuff like that while streaming on YouTube or any place you want to stream. I happen to stream on YouTube because that's the best place to stream, right? Rajesh, did I forget to send the 200th party cards out? I probably did. I don't have my party cards, but I do have a graph here of the E major chord. So look, here's what I'm playing. E major, that's the basic E major structure right there, which shows the low E string. And I like to look at the chord and go, you know what? About this chord is like, I could see the intervals in there. That's really important to see a chord and go, well, open is the E, looking from left to right here at your headstock, if it was facing up like that. I see that first black dot right there, that's the 5th. Then you got the octave, then you got the major 3rd, then you have the open B string and the open E string. That is an E chord right there. And if I was to close that out and open up that one, that's an E7 chord. Because look what I did is I dropped that note on the D string to an E7. So you're looking at just the key of E as an E major 7 chord, because it's going right down the scale. These are all just notes in the chord. Same thing there. Get that sound in your head, the E major scale. Wherever you want to play it. That's the tricky thing about guitar, is that you can play the same scales and notes and all over the place. Unlike piano, where you can only play the same notes in one spot. So piano is way easier than guitar, for sure. We had a lot of keyboard players upset about that one. Plus, they never have to tune their piano. A professional comes out, tunes their piano for them. Or a synthesizer is always going to be perfectly in tune, right? Guitars, you have to tune them. It's crazy. So, so that's the E major. So, going down, you have the next chord, which is F sharp. Now, these chords, the reason I'm showing these to you is because these are the basic bar chords that are in every key. So starting on the 2nd, the F sharp here note of the major scale. It's a minor chord. Looks like that, F sharp minor. If you drop this note, you have the 7th, F sharp minor 7. It's the same thing going up. The next one, It's a minor chord, same shape. Drop the 7th. Here's the 7th. Keep just gonna go right up the scale. On the 5th degree is the A. A major 7. These are all chords that are diatonic or pukatonic, as Teddy Kumpel would say. If you don't know Teddy Kumpel, he's a New York City guitar player. Plays with Janet Jackson. No, I'm just kidding. Joe Jackson. And I took some lessons from him years ago. He's just the best guitar player, like probably on the planet. Check him out, Teddy Kumpel. But why did I even mention him? It's because he calls it pukatonic. He's very un-pukatonic. He'll probably never play the major scale in his life, you know, unless it's backwards and upside down. But you have to know it to unknow it, right? So then you go to this one, 5 chord. Then you have your dominant chord right there. Next. Is that it right there? 7? Yep. Just like that. Put that on again. 7 chord, 7 chord, 7 chord. Now, the reason I'm showing this, like, once again, is this is the same pattern in every key, everywhere. 9, here's the minor chord, C sharp minor. Same thing as all the other minors that we had. C sharp minor. The second chord right here, the 2 chord, minor, C minor, F sharp minor 7, G sharp minor, G sharp minor 7. Same thing here in C. And then last but not least, you have the half diminished chord, which is the weird one in the crew here. D sharp, half sharp diminished, and minor 7 flat 5 chord right here. It's hard to finger it out right there in this position. Back to the E again. All right, so this is really, really good stuff. Hopefully, if you want a graph, PDF of all those, just send me an email, info@jerrycherry. I'll shoot it right over to you. Now, check this out. What I was doing was, when I'm messing around like this, sounds pretty cool, right? Or maybe it doesn't. But I just went through all of those 7 chords while droning out this E, because I played all the 7 chords of the diatonic key, but without playing the root of it. So check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, if I leave off the low note and I just play the E over the whole thing, look, I'm playing the same chords, but I'm leaving the E off. And it's giving a different sound. So it's the same thing. Check this out. Do all that with just the E note. Pretty interesting, right? I think so. If you think so, give me a round of applause. Give you a round of applause. Hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel, which I go live every Sunday. But a lot of times, you know, I'm coming home from a tour and I have to do it on Monday. You know, 200 episodes, you have to be flexible a little bit. All right. I hope you're having a good Monday so far. And let me know where you're watching from out there, you know. What part of the country, what part of the world. I'm here in Brooklyn, New York, right by Prospect Park, and it's a sunny day. As you can see, the sun is peeking in. Not peeking in, it's blaring. It's coming in here. I got a nice sunny view here in my apartment in Prospect Park. And pretty cool. Rajesh from the UK. Oh, that's right. That's very cool. What part of the UK are you watching from, Rajesh? I probably asked you this a million times, but I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting. And UK, I love it out there. Really, really fun. Let's get out there to London. And so let's see. Where can we go with this stuff? And you go a million places. You know, it's like a lot of times, you know, you may know the basics where you may go, okay, well, I know this E chord. West Midlands near Birmingham. Just very, very cool. You may know some chords like this E. You may know an A, a B, right? Something like that. You probably don't know why they sound good together. Ozman, popping in for a little bit. Can't stay long, but wanted to say hi. That's really, really cool of you. Thank you so much, Ozman. Very cool. Give you a round of applause. Let's give another example here. A lot of people know this G chord. And I'll play a C, a D. Well, it's the same thing, only starting in G. Start the G major scale. Oops. Well, if you go from a G to a C, that's the 4. Why? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. And a 5 would be the D. So it's the same thing as this. Same thing. It's the same thing. Jeffrey Boyle, happy 200. Yep, it is episode 200. That means that it's been almost 4 years. I think December, it'll be 4 years since I started going live on this channel, my only channel. I say this channel as opposed to the other channels that I don't have. It's this channel. So thank you very much for that. And so, now you know the inside of the of this. What else can I do over this? Well, you have these 3 chords. Well, there's 7 chords of every key. So it's like, well, why just stick to these 3 when you have the options of playing some more? Like you could be in G, and you could say, well, I want to play the 2nd chord. We know that's just an A minor 7 chord. So now I could play it or play it here. I could throw that in there. What about the 3 chord? Put the 3 in there. 1, 2, 3. That's a B minor. Let's see what that sounds like. C. D. What if I wanted to play the 6th chord in there? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's an E minor, okay? G, E, C, D. So now I just added 3 more chords to the 3 chords that I played in G. Then of course you have that 1 more chord, which would be a half diminished. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it'd be an F sharp diminished. It would be like this. Let's add that in there. Not in that context. Kind of like a. I don't even know how to add that in there. It'd be like a. Like that. Actually, it would sound better playing it up here, like instead of like this. Or here. There you go, that's a nicer one. Different ways to play it. Because really, what the 7th chord, the 7th degree chord, all it really is is an inversion of this 5 chord. It's really like the same chord. So I want to get into a little trick here that utilizes this stuff. So I'm going back to E. If I play an E chord, like this, and I play that second thing like this, these different chords are actually changing the extensions of this root right here. Here's an E major chord, right? Check this out. It's a little trick. It's something to know. E major. Well, if I play this F sharp minor chord here with the low E ringing out, well, now think about what these notes are doing. We have the E, then I have the C sharp, so that's a 6th degree or 13. It's a 6, so going down the scale. Root 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, root 7, 6, it's a 6th degree now I'm playing. So it's a 6 or 13. Okay, now the next note, the F sharp. What is the F sharp to E? What's the 2nd degree? So up here. Or 2nd or 9th. Because it's either a 2nd or a 9th degree. So you have 9 over this E. 9th and this, so 13, 9. Now the A, that's in a, what is that over the, that's an 11th, a 4th degree, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have that. Then you have, this note, which is the octave up here, C sharp. So right here with this E, I have a 9th, 13th chord right here, 11th. So I have all this extensions. So I'm playing a 13, 9, 11 chord right here. If I go up to the G sharp, I have the first note right here. It's an E flat, so I'm playing a major E major 7th, like this. I'm playing the 3rd, the G sharp, so it's the 3rd, part of the major chord. The 5th right here, 5th part of the major chord. So really, by playing this G sharp, all I'm really playing is an E major 7 chord. So think about that. Same chord as this, but here. Major 7. So if you were playing like a chord progression like this, to the 3 chord, this 3 chord has the same harmony pretty much as this chord, because once you skip a chord, you're just inverting essentially here, and then the 5 chord. It's the same notes. I have a major 7th chord right here. If I go up to the A over the E here, I have the root here. I have the A note, which makes it an 11th. And I have this note, this C sharp, which makes it a 13 right there. So listen to this. It's an 11-13 chord just by doing this. Back to this E. So I have the 9th with this F sharp. I have the 5th with this B. I have the 7th degree with this D sharp. So I have a 9 chord. Yeah, basically a 9 chord right here. So I go from a major 7th to a 9 chord. Making some music here, you know, theoretically, and we're just playing up the major scale and having a really good time doing it, you know. So if you find this video helpful, getting anything, just let me know. I'm not gonna, it's hard to really explain if you're a beginner to, I don't expect you to completely understand this without having to really break it down a little bit into finer detail, but I think this is helpful. stuff right here. Going up the E major scale, and knowing that each note has its own chord. Oops. I knew I'd mess up one chord in there. My hands are too big to get up here. People say bigger hands are better for playing guitar. Well, not always. Because a lot of times they get crumbled up in between these little frets here. And people with shorter hands, I've seen people with shorter fingers and are closer to the fingerboard, believe it or not, and can fly around. When you have longer, crazy, freak-like hands like I do, it takes a longer amount of time to actually hit the fretboard on here. I know it sounds ridiculous, and I've always had a problem with my pinky being flush onto the fretboard here. It always, and my teacher when I was 17 told me this, to try your hardest to keep your fingers as close as possible, even if you're not using them, to the fingerboard. Because what happens is, if I'm playing here, look what happens to my pinky. Can't really see it from that angle, but my pinky goes up. When I'm not using it, look, it's hanging down there. It just drops. Now it's far. If I'm not using it, it should be closer so that you could actually attack the note faster. What I'm doing right here probably sounds ridiculous, but I'm playing an E and I'm playing the C scale going down, so it's an E Phrygian. And then if I play E Phrygian, which is the E note over this E, well, I could play the next step up would be F, the 4 chord. So I know this degree, this formula. So I know this is major, 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 minor. I go 5, 6, 7, root to key of C. So I could play those 7 chords in the key of C while droning the low E. That's going to give me a Phrygian sound. Right? So I'm playing C major. But I'm droning the E, which is the 3rd degree. So it's an E minor chord. C major scale here. C major scale here. Like a Bowie song. Lots of fun going there. Any questions about this stuff, please let me know. Daredevil. I'll give you a round of applause. Thanks for saying hello, popping in. Our Steelers did a heck of a job last night. I'm a Steelers fan. All right, come on. I will admit it. Don't talk too much about the Steelers on this channel because I don't want any of my other football fans from other teams to hate me. You might have been a Ravens fan, and now you're never going to watch me again because I'm a Steelers fan. But anyway, it's stupid. I almost wanted to turn off the game. Literally, Steelers were losing 15-6. They gave the Jets, even though I'm from New York, they gave them that 2 points conversion, pretty much. Should have been a blocked field goal. It's crazy. This leverage penalty. The refs ruin the game. I almost don't even want to watch the game, football, anymore because of the stupid refs. But anyway, I'm glad I kept watching because then they scored 31 unanswered points. I will take that any day. All right. So, we're having a good time here. We're rocking, playing some guitar. This is the fundamentals of everything right here. This right here is probably the most important thing to know. Here's another little trick. Okay, so if you know this already right now, you know that there's 7 chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to 1 again. All these chords. This is in every key. And what's really cool, say you want to play the blues, right? And blues is like 3 dominant chords, right? Well, it's like the 5 chord. Well, check this out. If I know that I'm playing blues in B, for instance, because I'll just randomly pick B here. You got it. Say this B, right? Playing blues, B. I know that I'm in like the key of E. Are the chords around this chord? So it's a 5 chord, right? You get this Mixolydian mode. Like if you were playing a blues, like an E. Nobody really plays blues in B, do they? Or rock and roll, whatever. I'm playing the E major scale right here. Believe it or not, over this B. Check it out. Starting on the B, E major scale. So now I know, because this is in the key of E, but I'm playing off of the B, I have all those chords to choose from right here. See, check this out. I'll create a little loop here, just to show you. Here, I can do it right here. Check it out. See if I have, what kind of drum beat I have here. Probably a straightforward beat. All right, I'll just use this beat, so it won't really be like a blues, but I'll just like something like that, right? And B, over a B chord. Right, okay, so we got that. We'll loop back. So it's just the B jam thing, right? I could play the E major scale over this B. But I'll focus on the B note, but with the E major scale. A little delay. Now it's cool. All those chords we played, I can play them over this progression. very, very basic stuff. And I'm playing around the 7 chords of E. E, F sharp. But because I know that formula, if I was in a chord like that B, which is like a blues chord, it's a dominant 7 chord, like this. I know that because of this chord, this B7, that B7 is a 5 chord of the key of E, that every note in E works over that. You know, I mean, I'm not thinking about E when I'm playing in B, really, but I know for the sake of this lesson that you could really kind of see the fretboard a little bit differently with that. If you find this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. Any questions about this, let me know too. I love this stuff. I love talking about it as well. And we have some more time here on a Monday. Playing some guitar. Anytime you have a guitar in your hands is a good thing, right? I mean, you could have a jackhammer in your hand. That's like, you may love doing that. But you may be doing that and dreaming about holding your guitar. Here we are with our guitars in our hands. And, you know, it doesn't just stop there. You know, that's the 5. Okay, well, what about the 4 chord? You know, some cool stuff right here. Over this, check this out, this A chord. Well, in the key of E, this is the 4 chord. Well, I also have, you know, a B in there, right? Well, check it out. That's how you have your Lydian sound there. Letting the A drone while playing the chords of E. Look what you get. You get A, you get a B chord, you have your C sharp minor right there, then you have your diminished chord again, which is this one right here. Oops. You have your E right there. Really cool. Eisenkeller. Hello, greetings. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Thank you very much. And I hope you are doing well too. All right. And very cool of you. So it's really helpful to know just these 7 chords. There's so much. I'm basically describing modes right here too with all this stuff, because each note of this scale is a mode as well. And you're welcome, Eisenkeller. You know, really, really cool stuff. It's a different flavor. Each chord brings a different flavor to the table. It's like the 7 chords. Same key of E, but these are 7 chords, 7th chords. So check it out: E major 7th, F sharp minor 7th, G sharp minor 7th, A minor 7th, no, A major 7th, B dominant 7th, C minor 7th, D minor 7 flat 5, back to E again, major 7. So whenever you see these chords, you know the framework of that as well. What's your favorite key? Rajesh, what is my favorite key? Well, I'd say probably E, right? That is the key of guitar players, the guitar player's favorite key, E. You know, it's probably the one I play in the most, you know. But, you know, I mean, I love all the keys, really, because once you know this framework, they all become the same, which is great. You know, like if I took the same philosophy or the same idea and I went to the key of A, right there. Okay, so you got A major. I know that A is the 1 chord, B is the 2 chord, B minor, or B minor 7. I know that C sharp is the 3 chord. I know that D is the 4 chord. I know that E is the 5 chord. I know that F sharp minor is the 6th chord. I know that G sharp is the 7th chord. And I know back to A is the 1 chord again. So you have the A. Just harmonize the whole major scale. And all you really have to know is if you know them on these 2 strings, then you know all of them, the shapes. Because the 1, here's the shapes of the 1 through 7 on the E string, key of E. And on the A string with the root, you have the key of A. With that shape. If you know that, you know all of them. Because if you wanted to do, say, you're like B. So here's the B on the A string. I'll put it right here for you so you can see a little bit better. B on the A string. Here's the B chord. Well, here's the B major scale. Go right up all 7 chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to B again. So now I know all the degrees and the formulas of all the chords in B. Same thing. If I wanted to go off the 5 chord of it, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B is the 5 chord. No, F sharp, 5 chord right here. So I can play the 7 chord. I can play a progression like check this out. You could do, as an example, in the key of B. Let's see, I'll delete this. I'll keep the beats going. It starts the drum beats. And I'll record a B, no, F sharp over this. 2, 4. Right, so here's a F sharp, but I'm really in the key of B. I'm the 5 chord of B. So check it out. B major scale. I don't know the B major scale. Check it out. B major scale. But I want to focus on this F sharp. Here's the, so it gives it a dominant 7th chord. So if I know this is a F sharp 7 chord, I know all the chords, so I know all the chords. He's like, I don't want to make you cry or sing. Like, I'm like George, who knows all the chords. So here's the B major. Check it out. I mean, they don't really, they work, may not sound the best, but these are the chords in this key right here. Here's a 5 chord, here's a 6 chord. If I did something like this. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of making this stuff up as I go right here. Let me know what you think about it. It's just an approach to take, and just knowing this formula that's in the major scale is everything in music, and then you know all the chords, essentially. Because there's only 7 chords in every key, and all the chords, the fancy chords, are all based off of those same chords. These are the roots, foundation of all of the chords. And when you're thinking, where can I go in this chord progression? Well, it's really up to you. If you know the framework or the formula, then you could take the formula and just kind of shake it up, put it all into a jar and just shake it up and just throw it down and go, okay, this is what it is. I think, right. It has to sound good. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it has to sound like something, So, let's see. Oh, got a couple questions here I want to see. Check this out. Dusty Pants. Give you a round of applause. Thank you for the great lessons. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for the great words. I'm glad you enjoy this. It really means a lot. Any ideas, anything that you feel that you think that I could show you, then let me know. If you want a copy of these charts that I have here, which are these right here, I have a graph of all of the chords here of the key that we're talking about here. Starting with the E chord, not that one, starting with the E chord, the E7 chord, the F minor chord, the F minor 7 chord. Now, what's great about these are really helpful because they're the same, like I was saying, in every key. So once you know this formula, and I'm really grateful that one of the first things I learned on the guitar was this, and it's really, really helped me. If you only know a few things on the guitar, then this is definitely one of them that should be learned. Rajesh. Mine to E minor to E major and parallel E minor. Fave keys, Journey songs and Marvin Gaye, usually in this key. Okay, so your favorite keys. Give E major, parallel E minor favorite keys. That's really cool. I love that parallel minor stuff, because that's where a lot of the really cool stuff comes. And I think, just briefly, if you know the major scale, E, like this, delay. Well, parallel minor would be if you were to go to its natural minor, C sharp minor, right? Now bring that C sharp minor down to an E minor. So that now is the 6th chord. This E is now a 6th chord of the key of G. So now you're mixing up the two keys, the key of E major and G. And a lot of people do that in music, where they'll play the E chord, and then they'll play, then they'll go to the key of G, which would be an E minor. Like that. Or they'll play an E major, and then they'll play a different chord from the key of E minor, like a G. Back to an A. Because G is normally G sharp in the key of E, right? E major. No, not E major, E minor. So it's a happy, very happy progression, like E. We're in the key of E, 3 chord, 4 chord. Now watch, I'll do a parallel minor. I'll go E major, G major, A. That's what Eisenhower is kind of talking about, or Rajesh, kind of talking about parallel minor. So if you're soloing in E major, and you hit that G chord, you're going to go to G minor, really, instead. So it's going to sound like this. Actually, you can just kind of, let's make a little progression. Let's have some fun with that here. So if we go like this, we go, check it out. You go. G sharp, minor, A. Now this time we go to G. So it opens up things with the parallel minor just by knowing those 7 chords. When I went to G, all I did was now we're in a different shift. Like we just shifted everything to where you have a parallel minor. So you have parallel like this. And I do have a video I made on parallel minor. Parallel is like this. So now you have the key of E, and you have the key, instead of having a key of E going all across, you have the key of E, then you have the key of G, and they're kind of moving, or this is staying here, and then you have the keys just going through each other. And that's kind of weird, right? Like this. It's a good exercise, too, to do like that. I'm so silly. All right. Eisenhower. Unlike George, who knows all the chords, a little Knopfler style, should we say, Mr. Benson, at least. Yeah. Love me some Mark Knopfler, right? You know? Just really cool stuff. Forgot my name. Give you a round of applause. Thanks for the comments here, the question. Can you do a lesson on the E minor to G to A or A minor, C, D progression? Let's see. E minor to G, A or A minor, C, D. So E minor, G, A, and then it's C, D. Well, right now off the bat, I'm looking at this progression. I'm going, well, it's E minor to a G. So I think I'm E minor, G. A minor would be still in the same key, C. So all these chords are in the same key, the key of E minor, or G, relative major. The only thing that's a little different would be that A chord. So if I hit the A major there, you're changing keys a little bit. It'd be E minor. That would be something as far as parallel minor is concerned, which is a great idea for a lesson because you have the E minor, then G. Now right there, you're switching keys briefly, and not to get too far deep into it, but if you think about the G, whenever you have two major chords right next to each other within a whole step, like G and the A, that's the 4 and a 5 chord, always. So what is that a 4 and a 5 chord of? The key of D. So right now I'm switching to the key of D. At that moment when that A, and I'm kind of analyzing chords or chord progression here, but whenever you have a G to an A, you're in the key of D. So when you're playing that first E chord, you're in E minor to a G, still an E minor or a relative G major. When you hit that A, you're really in the key of D now. So you kind of want to take your E minor playing, whatever you're playing there, and kind of remember that you're now in the key of D. So what is E to the key of D? Well, E minor to the key of D is the 2 chord. So the 2 chord is a Dorian chord, Dorian formula. So if I was to play E minor right there, when it gets to that A chord, if I was still in E minor, I'd play more of a Dorian scale, which would be, so I'm adding that C sharp in there. When I go back to C, now back to the C. So A is the only thing that's different about the chord A is that A has a C sharp in it, whereas E minor have a C, G, A, C sharp, back to C again. So that's basically that in a nutshell right there. You can go into more depth with that as well. That depends. Thanks for teaching the major scale. Hey, what kind of question? Thanks for teaching the major scale. The easiest thing ever. Like anybody could do that, right? Thanks for teaching me the E major scale and how the chords progress. Yep, I can't even read myself right now. Thanks for teaching me the E major scale and how the chords progressions. Okay, gotcha right there. My pleasure. And if you want this PDF of this, just email me info@Cherry, and I'll shoot it right over to you. I have a PDF of all those chords, signed by George, who knows all the chords. But he's strictly rhythm. He doesn't want to make it cry or scream. That's what makes cry or scream, or to make it sound terrible. So very, very, very cool. Hopefully you got something out of this. Thank you very much for watching. I think we can wrap it up here. Gone about an hour. I can go on and on forever, but it's so much fun to know these chords. And once you know these, it really, really opens up your mind to know music and just where you can go with it and how to mess it up. You know, take these 7 chords and just shift them around, play parallel minor. Parallel minor is a great idea for next week. Speaking of next week, let's see. In a nutshell, if we're going to do Sunday or Monday, I'll tell you right now. Take a look at the old calendar right here. And I know that next week, back to normal, Sunday. Yes, Sunday we will be here. Sunday is the fun day, the way God intended it to be. Sunday, live, Cherry Sunday. It's right here at 12 o'clock. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Dusty Pants, some new people here I've never met before. I'm grateful for you to spend some time here with me. I forgot my name. I love you guys. Eisen Keller, Rajesh, Dusty Pants. All you guys are really cool for hanging out. Jared Devil, my Steelers brother, and Ozman. All you guys for popping in. And sorry if I forgot some of you. But thank you very much for hanging out with me here today. If you want that PDF, just email me, info@JerryCherry. Any ideas for future lessons like you have sent me? We could probably do that next week. I'm really into that parallel minor stuff. Now that we know these 7 chords, let's take other parallels and make some more interesting music from it, you know. That's the way we do it. So just let me know any great ideas. Keep them coming. That's how I've been able to do this for 4 years. Your ideas. And I don't want to just, I have lots of ideas because music is endless. You could just go on and on and on forever doing stuff, you know, different versions of the same stuff, which is what I do a lot. Trying to narrow it in to something that we could all kind of get our fingers on. So thank you guys. So remember, be cool, be kind, be cherry. And I made a really good video on these chords, these 7 diatonic chords too. I'll put that right up there for you. It's a quick video and I'd love it for you to check that out. So I'll see you in the next one. All right, see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you so much.